The smell of deep fryer oil clings to my uniform as I push open the front door. My feet ache after 8 hours of standing, but I've still got 3 chapters to review before tomorrow's nursing exam. All I need is a hot shower and my study notes. My bedroom door is half open. Strange. I always close it completely. "Tyler?" I call out. No answer. I push the door wider and freeze. My meticulously organized study notes, the ones I've been building for weeks, between double shiftly scattered across the floor. Coffee stains bloom across diagrams of the circulatory system. A muddy footprint smears across my handwritten summary of medication dosage calculations. My work bag slides from my shoulder and thuds against the floor. My hands tremble as I drop to my knees, gathering the soggy, stained pages. Each one represents precious minutes stolen from sleep, organized during 15-minute breaks at the gas station. "No, no, no," I whisper, my throat tightening as I try to arrange the pages in order. The exam is in 10 hours. I've been studying for weeks. The muffled sound of gunfire and explosions pulses through the thin wall separating my room from Tyler's. I stand, my exhaustion replaced by a hot flush of anger. 3 quick strides and I'm at his door, pushing it open without knocking. Tyler slouches in his gaming chair, headphones clamped over his ears, thumbs dancing across the controller. Empty energy drink cans and fast food wrappers litter the floor around him. He doesn't even glance up. I yank one side of his headphones away from his ear. "Did you go in my room?" He flinches, then scowls. "What? I'm in the middle of something." I hold up a coffee-stained diagram. My notes are all over the floor. Ruined. Tyler shrugs without removing his headphones, eyes never leaving the screen. "It was just some dumb paper. Stop making such a big deal about everything." Just some dumb paper. The words strike like a physical blow. Last Tuesday, Tyler had called me at work, voice tight with panic. "Elena, I need help. My car payment's due and I'm between gigs right now." I'd transferred the money immediately, $340 I'd been saving for my textbooks. "Just until my streaming takes off," he'd promised. The memory collides with another. Sunday dinner, 3 days ago. Mom beaming as Tyler described his latest gaming tournament. 16 straight hours, he'd boasted, shoveling potatoes into his mouth. Almost broke into the top 100. "That's wonderful, honey," Mom had said, squeezing his shoulder. I passed my pharmacology assessment. I'd offered quietly. Top marks. Dad had nodded absently, passing the salt to Tyler without comment. "Tyler, I say now," my voice steadier than I expect. "You destroyed notes I need for an important exam tomorrow. I want you to acknowledge what you did and apologize." He rolls his eyes. "Whatever." "Not whatever. Those notes represent weeks of work. I've been studying between double shifts at the gas station. I need—" "What's all the commotion in here?" My father's irritated voice cuts through mine. He stands in the doorway, arms crossed over his chest, the blue glow of the paused television visible behind him in the living room. I stand straighter, holding the ruined pages. Tyler went into my room and destroyed my nursing school notes. I have an exam tomorrow morning. Dad glances at the papers in my hand, then at Tyler, who has already returned to his game, the headphones back in place. "So make new notes," Dad says flatly. "You're interrupting Tyler's tournament, and I'm missing my show." But the protest dies in my throat as I register his expression, the same dismissive look I've seen 1,000 times. "This attitude," he says coldly, "is exactly why nobody wants you here." The words land like a slap. From the hallway, Mom appears, silent in her floral robe. She meets my eyes briefly, then nods in agreement with Dad. "Nobody wants you here." As I clutch my ruined notes, a strange clarity washes over me. I've always been the invisible middle child caught between my older sister Jessica's perfect marriage in California and Tyler's golden boy status. Not the problem child, not the star. Just the reliable one they take for granted. The one who works double shifts, who pays her share of bills on time, who covers Tyler's car payment when he's between gigs. The one whose nursing program achievements merit nothing more than a passing nod. For the first time, I wonder if being wanted by this family is something I should even want anymore. The soft glow of my desk lamp illuminates the mess Tyler left behind. I've managed to salvage most of my notes, though coffee stains blur key diagrams I'd spent hours perfecting. My alarm clock reads 1:37 a.m. The house has finally fallen silent, no more gunfire from Tyler's video games, No more of Dad's television blaring sports commentary. I reach for my nursing textbook, determined to review what I can before tomorrow's exam, when my eyes drift to the windowsill, the mason jar. My textbook money. A cold knot forms in my stomach as I cross the room. Even before my fingers touch the glass, I know. The jar sits lighter in my hand than it should, the coins that once filled the bottom now gone. Only a few scattered pennies remain, not even enough to buy a cup of coffee. I sink onto my bed, the emptiness in my chest matching the empty jar in my hands. This isn't the first time my things have mysteriously disappeared. My favorite sweater, $20 from my wallet. The fancy pen my nursing instructor gave me when I aced my clinical rotation. I tip the jar upside down, and something flutters to my lap. A folded sticky note, yellow and creased. I unfold it with trembling fingers. "I owe you $120, T," in Tyler's messy scrawl, dated 3 weeks ago. The handwriting blurs as tears sting my eyes. Not tears of sadness, tears of pure molten anger. 3 weeks. He's had 3 weeks to mention this. 3 weeks to pay me back. 3 weeks of watching me work double shifts while he lounges around playing video games. The note crumples in my fist. Before I can stop myself, I'm marching toward the kitchen where the light still glows. My parents sit at the table eating ice cream, Dad scrolling through his phone, Mom leafing through a magazine. Tyler slouches in a chair, eyes glued to his phone, thumbs tapping rapidly. I slam the empty jar onto the table. The sound reverberates through the kitchen, ice cream spoons pausing midway to mouths. "Did you know about this?" I thrust the crumpled note toward them. Mom's eyes widen with practiced innocence. "What's wrong, Elena?" Tyler emptied my textbook savings. Left this IOU from 3 weeks ago. My voice comes out steadier than I feel. That was $120 I've been saving for my nursing textbooks. Dad doesn't even look up from his phone. "Keep your voice down. It's late." "He probably needed it for something important," Mom offers, her tone dismissive. She returns to her magazine, flipping a page as if my missing money is no more significant than a weather report. Tyler doesn't even bother looking up from his game. "Chill out. I'll pay you back eventually." Eventually? My textbooks aren't. Eventually. I need them next week for the new semester. Dad finally looks up, his expression hardening. "You should be grateful you have a job to earn money, unlike your brother." The casual cruelty of his words knocks the air from my lungs. Grateful? I'm working double shifts to put myself through nursing school while paying rent here, and Tyler gets to. Not everyone wants to waste their life serving gas station burritos. Tyler smirks, still tapping away at his phone. Some of us have actual career plans. Career plans? I choke out. Playing video games 16 hours a day isn't a career plan. He's building his streaming audience, Mom interjects. These things take time. I look between them. Dad returning to his phone, Mom defending Tyler, my brother smirking without a trace of remorse. The reality crashes down on me like a physical weight. Every extra shift I've worked, every hour of sleep I've sacrificed to study it hasn't just been supporting myself. I've been subsidizing Tyler's lifestyle while he steals from me. If I can't afford those textbooks, I could lose my place in the nursing program, I say, my voice dropping to just above a whisper. Do any of you even care about that? We care about family supporting each other. Dad says, his tone sharpening. And if you can't be a team player, maybe we should reconsider your rent arrangement. Apartments in this area go for a lot more than what you're paying us. Mom reaches across the table to pat my hand, but I pull away. Sweetie, maybe you should consider putting family first. You could postpone your education until Tyler gets on his feet. Your father and I aren't getting any younger, and we need your help around here. The words land like blows. Postpone my education, the thing I've been working toward for years. The future I've sacrificed everything for to wait for Tyler to get on his feet. The brother who steals from me and mocks my job. My phone buzzes in my pocket, a momentary reprieve. I pull it out, grateful for the distraction. It's a text from Beverly, my coworker from the gas station. Found my old nursing textbooks from when I did the program last year. You can borrow them if you want. No rush to return them. You've got this, girl. I stare at the message, the simple kindness in such stark contrast to my family's indifference. Beverly, who I've known for less than a year, offering more support than the people who've known me my entire life. As I stand there holding Beverly's message, I wonder if I should continue trying to make this work or if it's time to choose myself over a family that never chose me. Should I stay and fight for recognition, or walk away toward people who actually supported me? Dad clears his throat, impatient. Well, are we done with the drama for tonight? I pocket my phone without answering, taking the empty jar and the IOU with me as I leave the kitchen. Behind me, I hear Tyler snort and mutter something that makes my parents chuckle. They've already moved on, already forgotten about my stolen future. But I haven't, and I won't. 3 days later, the dining room at Aunt Peggy's house smells like pot roast and judgment. I shift in my chair as Mom passes the basket of dinner rolls, her smile too bright and brittle. Elena's been so difficult lately, she announces to the table of extended family. We're worried about her priorities. I freeze, fork halfway to my mouth. The green beans suddenly look unappetizing. Uncle Rick glances at me over his glasses. Family comes first, young lady. Always has. Aunt Peggy nods. Your generation doesn't understand sacrifice. When I was your age. Elena knows all about sacrifice, Tyler interrupts, his voice dripping with performative gratitude. He reaches across the table to squeeze my wrist. She's always been there for me. Best sister anyone could ask for. Everyone turns to me, waiting for the appropriate response. The grateful little sister, humbled by her brother's recognition. My throat tightens. I can't force the words out. See? Mom whispers to Aunt Peggy. This is what we're dealing with. The ride home is silent. I stare out the window, counting mailboxes while Dad's knuckles whiten on the steering wheel. Monday morning, I place my nursing textbook on the kitchen table. I need tonight off from cooking. Another exam tomorrow. Mom doesn't look up from chopping onions. Tyler's gaming friends are coming over. I promised them your lasagna. I've been studying for this exam for weeks. Can't they order pizza? Those boys need a home-cooked meal. They're supporting Tyler's streaming career. Dad folds his newspaper. We're a family, Elena. We support each other. But I need. Those boys will be here at 6, Mom says, ending the conversation. The driveway has become my refuge. I sit in my car before each shift, before entering the house, sometimes just to breathe. Today, my hands tremble on the steering wheel. My chest tightens with each shallow breath. 10 minutes until my shift. 9, 8. I close my eyes against the wave of panic. A tap on my window makes me jump. Beverly stands there, 2 coffee cups in hand. I roll down the window. You've been sitting out here for 15 minutes, she says, handing me a cup. Everything okay? I take a sip, grateful for the warmth. Tyler used my laptop again, closed all my study materials without saving. 3rd time this month. 5th. I correct. I'm keeping my textbooks in the trunk now. I pat the stack on the passenger seat. Beverly leans against my car. You know, my spare room is just sitting there empty. No strings, no family obligations attached. The coffee scalds my tongue, but something else warms my chest. Something that feels dangerously like hope. I couldn't impose. It's not imposing if it's offered freely. Beverly straightens her gas station uniform shirt. Just think about it. I think about little else for the next 3 days. During my lunch break, I research the nursing program's housing assistance. During my 15-minute dinner break, I make a list of essentials I would need to take versus what could be replaced later. The decision crystallizes as I stand in my bedroom doorway, staring at the empty space where my anatomy flashcards should be. A quick search finds them scattered across Tyler's desk, coffee rings obscuring key terms. That night, I pack a small duffel bag clothes, toiletries, my nursing badge and ID. I place it by the front door while Mom sets the table for dinner. She spots it immediately. What's that? I'm staying at Beverly's for a while. The serving spoon clatters against the casserole dish. You can't just leave. Who will help with the bills? Tyler needs your support. Dad appears from the living room, face darkening. Running away from your responsibilities? I've supported everyone but myself for years, I say, my voice steadier than my heartbeat. I'm choosing me now. Mom's eyes fill with tears. After everything we've done for you, what exactly have you done for me, Mom? When was the last time you asked about my classes, or noticed I've been working double shifts? Dad steps between us. You'll be back when you realize nobody else wants you either. The words should sting like they always have. Instead, I feel a strange lightness. I'd rather be alone than be with people who make me feel unwanted in my own home. Dad's mouth opens, then closes. For once, he has no ready response. I pick up my bag. Tyler emerges from his room, alerted by the commotion. "Where are you going?" he asks, looking genuinely confused. "Somewhere I'm wanted," I answer, and walk out the door. Beverly is waiting in her sedan, engine running. She helps me load my bags into her trunk without comment. It takes less than 5 minutes to fit my essential life into her car. "You okay?" she asks as we pull away from the curb. I watch my childhood home shrink in the side mirror. I don't know yet. Later, at her place, Beverly's spare room is small but clean. A twin bed with fresh sheets, a desk with a reading lamp, a closet with empty hangers. "Bathroom's down the hall," she says, setting my bag on the bed. "Towels in the linen closet. Use whatever you need." I wait for the conditions, the expectations. There are always strings attached to kindness in my experience. "What do you need from me?" I ask. Beverly looks puzzled. "Nothing. Just focus on your exam preparation." That night, I sleep straight through until morning. No midnight interruptions from Tyler's gaming. No early morning complaints about unwashed dishes. Just silence and the gentle tick of a bedside clock. I block my family's numbers after the 12th text message. "Mom, you're breaking this family apart." "Dad, ungrateful after all we've sacrificed." "Tyler, can I borrow your car since you're not using it?" The nursing exam takes 3 hours. I answer each question with a clarity I haven't felt in months. When the proctor calls time, I set down my pencil with confidence. In the hallway, I turn my phone back on. 15 missed calls from my mother's workplace number. For a moment, my finger hovers over the callback button, old habits pulling like gravity. Instead, I text Beverly, "Exam done. Headed to my shift. Thank you." The response comes immediately. "Proud of you. Dinner's at 7 if you're free." Free. What a strange, wonderful word. 2 weeks later, the voicemail from my mother plays through the speaker of my phone as I sit at Beverly's kitchen table. Her voice wavers between panic and accusation. "Elena, Tyler's been arrested. He got caught stealing computer equipment from some gaming place. Call us back immediately." I tap my fingernail against the wooden tabletop, counting to 10 before replaying the message. The second time, I notice what she doesn't say: no apology, no acknowledgement of our last conversation. Just another crisis with Tyler at the center. I open my laptop and search for the county jail website. The intake officer answers on the third ring. "County Corrections," Officer Daniels speaking. "Hello, I'm calling about Tyler Brooks. He was arrested last night." My voice comes out steady, professional, the same tone I use during nursing clinicals. "Relation to the inmate?" "Sister." The word feels hollow in my mouth. Officer Daniels provides the details with bureaucratic efficiency. Tyler was caught stealing gaming equipment worth over $3,000 from an underground gaming club. Bail set at $8,500. First court appearance scheduled for tomorrow morning. "Thank you," I say, taking careful notes in my planner. Not a single tear forms, not a single tremble in my voice. After hanging up, I check my savings account balance. $9,267.43. Enough to bail him out with some left over. Enough to help if I choose to. If I choose to. My phone buzzes with a text from my father. "Please come home. Tyler is in serious trouble." Then my mother. "He needs us now more than ever." An hour later, my father again. "We need to stick together as a family right now." With each message, something hardens inside me. For years, family meant I gave while they took. It meant I compromised while they remained rigid. It meant I supported while they dismissed. I set the phone screen down on the table and make myself a cup of tea. Beverly's kitchen is quiet except for the ticking wall clock and the soft purr of their tabby cat winding between my ankles. I have the power to let the messages sit unanswered, to control when and how I respond. 3 hours pass before I pick up the phone again. 3 hours during which I imagine my parents pacing the living room, wondering why their reliable daughter isn't rushing to solve their problems. As I stared at their desperate messages, I wondered, should I help them one last time and prove I'm not who they think I am? Or should I maintain my distance and finally put myself first completely? The front door opens, and Beverly returns from her shift, her husband James behind her. They find me still sitting at the kitchen table, staring at my phone. "Tyler's been arrested," I say. "My parents want me to bail him out." Beverly sits across from me, not rushing to offer advice. "What do you want to do?" Part of me wants to help, to be the bigger person. I twist my mug between my palms. But another part wants them to face consequences. James finishes, setting his lunchbox on the counter. His voice holds no judgment. They've been texting all day, I say, acting like nothing happened between us. Beverly leans forward. Elena, if you decide to help, you get to set the terms. Remember that. Your money, your choice. James nods. Don't let them steamroll you back into the same patterns. Their words settle around me like a shield. I pick up my phone and type a response that would have been unthinkable a week ago. If you want my help, I want a full public apology in the family group chat. Spell out what you did to me, then thank me for helping. I press send before doubt can creep in. Silence follows 2 hours of it. I picture my parents reading my message, their indignation, their disbelief that I would dare make demands. When a response finally comes, it's from my father in the family group chat that includes my aunts, uncles, and cousins. We've mistreated Elena. She is an important part of this family, and we appreciate her support. The words are stiff, formal, nothing like my father's usual texts. No details about what they did, no genuine remorse. But it's more acknowledgement than I've received in years. My mother texts separately. Thank you, sweetie, for agreeing to help your brother. I notice what she's doing, assuming my compliance, acting as if my conditions have already been met. The old Elena would have accepted this crumb and rushed to help. The new Elena types. I'll visit Tyler at the county jail tomorrow before making any decisions about bail. Their response is immediate. We'll meet you there at 9 a.m. I turn my phone off and look up at Beverly and James. Tomorrow will be interesting. Whatever happens, Beverly says, remember you're coming home to people who see your worth. For the first time since walking out of my parents' house, I feel completely certain I made the right choice. The anger that burns in me now isn't the helpless rage of the past, it's focused, purposeful. A tool rather than a wound. The county jail's fluorescent lights cast a sickly glow across my mother's face as she paces the lobby. Dad leans against the beige wall, checking his watch for the 3rd time in 5 minutes. I push through the heavy glass doors, and their heads snap up with such desperate relief that I almost feel sorry for them. Almost. Elena, thank goodness. Mom rushes forward, her floral perfume overwhelming in the small space. She reaches for my hands, but I slide them into my coat pockets. We've been waiting over an hour. Dad pushes himself off the wall. The bail paperwork is ready. Just need your signature and payment information. His voice carries the same authoritative tone he uses when telling me to take out the trash or clean the bathroom, expecting immediate compliance. I want to speak with Tyler first, I say. Mom's smile tightens. Honey, we can talk about all this family stuff later. Tyler needs us now. He's learned his lesson, Dad adds, nodding vigorously. He just needs another chance. I stand perfectly still, watching their nervous movements. Mom's fingers twist her wedding ring. Dad shifts his weight from foot to foot. Neither meets my eyes for more than a second. Did you already tell Tyler I'm paying his bail? I ask quietly. The momentary freeze in their movements answers before their words can. Well, we assumed, Dad begins. He's your brother, Mom interrupts. Family takes care of family. I walk past them toward the visitor check-in desk. I'm here to see Tyler Brooks, I tell the officer. I'm his sister. Elena, wait, Dad calls out. I turn back. I'll speak with Tyler alone first. Then I'll decide about the bail money. The look they exchange speaks volumes. This isn't how their plan was supposed to unfold. The visitation room smells of industrial cleaner and sweat. I sit at the scratched metal table, hands folded, waiting. When the door buzzes open, Tyler shuffles in wearing an orange jumpsuit that hangs loose on his frame. Without his gaming headset and usual swagger, he looks smaller. His eyes widen when he sees me. You came. He slides into the chair across from me. Did you think I wouldn't? I ask. Honestly, wasn't sure. His gaze drops to the table, where his fingers trace a pattern only he can see. Look, I know I messed up. Big time. I wait, saying nothing. You were always good to me, he continues, voice soft. Even when I was. You know, I'm sorry, Elena, for everything. The words I've waited years to hear. For a moment, something loosens in my chest. Maybe this is the wake-up call he needed. Maybe things could be different. $8,000 is a lot of money, I say carefully. Tyler nods, still not meeting my eyes. I know. I'll pay you back. I promise. This time for real. The guard announces our time is up. As Tyler stands, I catch a glimpse of the person I've been hoping existed beneath the entitled exterior. The guard leads him toward the door. As they pass another inmate being escorted in, Tyler leans slightly sideways. I wouldn't have noticed if I hadn't been watching so carefully. "That idiot's about to take the bait," he whispers to the other man. "I'll be out in no time." My body goes cold, then hot. The loosening in my chest hardens into something sharp and certain. I stand up so quickly my chair scrapes loudly against the floor. Tyler glances back, flashing me an encouraging smile before disappearing through the door. In the lobby, my parents spring to their feet when they see me. "So?" Dad asks expectantly. "Ready to sign the papers?" I walk past them without slowing. I'm leaving. "What?" Mom grabs my arm. "Elena, what are you doing?" "Tyler said nobody wants me here," I say, gently removing her hand. "I'm just respecting his wishes." I pull out my phone and text Beverly. "Can you pick me up at the county jail? Now please." "But we need you," Dad says, following me toward the exit. "You can't just abandon us like this." The bright afternoon sun momentarily blinds me as I push through the doors into the parking lot. My parents trail behind, their shoes slapping against the asphalt. "We'll pay you back, every penny," Mom pleads, her voice cracking. "Please don't abandon us." My phone rings. Tyler's jail call. Dad snatches it from my hand and puts it on speaker. "Sis, you there?" Tyler's voice sounds small through the phone's tinny speaker. "Come on, sis. You know I didn't mean it." I take a deep breath and face them both squarely. For years, I've been the family ATM and emotional support system while being treated as unwanted. That ends today. What will we do without you? Mom collapses onto a nearby bench, tears streaming down her face. The question strikes me as so absurd that I almost laugh. All these years of being invisible until they needed something, and now they can't imagine life without me. "The same thing I'm doing without you," I say, surprising myself with how steady my voice sounds. "Learning to stand on your own." Beverly's blue sedan pulls into the lot. She waves from the driver's seat, her round face a welcome sight after the emotional battlefield of the last hour. "Elena, please." Dad's voice has lost its authority, replaced by something I've never heard before. Fear. I walk to Beverly's car without looking back. As I close the passenger door, I catch a glimpse of them in the side Morortwo diminished figures standing helplessly in the parking lot, the phone still held between them. "You okay?" Beverly asks as we pull away. "No," I answer honestly, "but I will be." 3 weeks later, I hear through my aunt that Tyler remained in jail for over 3 weeks. The family was forced to sell their television, sound system, and even Dad's prized golf clubs to raise bail money. The same clubs he'd polished every Sunday for as long as I could remember, telling anyone who would listen about his tournament days. The extended family has started reaching out, some with critical messages about family loyalty, others with surprising support. Uncle Jim called to tell me he was proud of me for standing up for myself. Aunt Carol invited me to Sunday dinner at her house instead. This morning, a letter arrived from the county jail. Tyler's handwriting on the envelope. It sits unopened on my new kitchen table, the morning light illuminating its edges. I run my finger along the seal, but don't tear it open. "Some words," once said, "can't be taken back. Some bridges, once burned, should stay ashes." The morning sun streams through unfamiliar curtains as I pour coffee into a ceramic mug that doesn't bear a single chip. 3 months at Beverly's, and I still pause to savor this moment absolute silence, except for the gentle tick of the wall clock and the occasional rustle of textbook pages. No slamming doors. No demands for breakfast. No missing possessions. I spread my notes across the small desk in the corner of my room. My room. The phrase still sends a thrill through my chest. A space where my things remain exactly where I leave them. My schedule pinned to a corkboard shows only reasonable shifts at the urgent care clinica position Beverly helped me land after I finished my clinical rotation. "You look cheerful this morning," Beverly says, leaning against the doorframe. Her gray hair catches the sunlight as she sips from her own mug. "I got the email." My voice trembles slightly. "I passed the certification, with honors." Beverly's smile unfolds slowly, reaching her eyes. "Never doubted you for a second, Elena." She steps forward and wraps one arm around my shoulders, the warmth of her hug so different from my mother's stiff embraces that always felt like reluctant obligations. Later that week, I smoothed the creases of my graduation gown, scanning the auditorium. The ceremony will start in 15 minutes. Beverly waves from her seat in the third row, James beside her giving me a thumbs up. "Elena!" A familiar voice cuts through the pre-ceremony chatter. Aunt Judith approaches with Uncle Robert trailing behind her. My stomach tightens reflexively. "We wouldn't miss it," Aunt Judith says, patting my arm. She glances around. "Your parents should be here. Family should stick together, you know." I meet her gaze steadily. Yes, real family should. Uncle Robert shifts uncomfortably. "Your mother calls us sometimes, asking about you." "I'm sure she does." I accept their congratulations with a polite smile, no longer hungry for their approval. When they mention possibly arranging a family dinner with my parents, I simply say, "I appreciate the thought, but I've made my decision." The celebration at Beverly's house afterward feels like coming home. 6 people crowd around her dining table, coworkers who covered shifts so I could study, classmates who shared notes, friends who believed in me when my own family couldn't bother. James raises his glass. "To Elena, who taught us all that choosing yourself isn't selfish when others won't choose you." The words settle inside me, filling spaces that once ached with emptiness. 2 weeks later, I fasten the last button on my new scrubs, adjusting the ID badge that reads, Elena Brooks, RN. My reflection in the mirror shows someone I'm still getting to know, a woman who stands straight, who looks people in the eye, who values her own dreams. On my dresser sits an application for an advanced nursing program, half completed. Beside it, a bank statement showing the growing deposit for my own apartment. And tucked in the bottom drawer, Tyler's unopened letter, delivered 3 weeks ago. I no longer need to read it to feel complete. The morning sunlight follows me into the care facility for my first official shift. An elderly woman with paper-thin skin reaches for my hand as I check her vitals. "You have such gentle hands, dear," she says, her fingers cool against mine. "You were meant for this." As I drive home that evening, I wonder if forgiveness should come with reconciliation, or if some relationships are healthier kept in the past. Would I try to rebuild bridges with those who only reached out when they needed something, or focus on the people who support me without conditions? For now, at least, the answer feels as clear as the road ahead.